All right, more shop Tetris. I had all this insulation. I bought a bundle of insulation just because I needed some to stuff down into the cinder blocks. And so now, what am I going to do with all that insulation? Well, let's go ahead and start putting it up. So I went out and bought a scaffolding, and that's what I'm doing. So Tetris continues. All right, all that insulation that was stacked over there is now up there. And I now have another piece to play Tetris with, at least until I get done with my ceiling. I'll sell that eventually, but it sure does come in handy for doing that kind of work. Right now, I'm just happy to be able to see my bench project again, because I really want to get that done. That's going to make a huge difference in here. Well, I knew this was going to be a problem. The floor is not level. It slopes down towards the big door. Quite a bit, actually. You can see the block is level, right? So if you compare the height of the riser to the block there, and then you come over to this one. Let's just sit. You can see the cement line. It's about an inch all the way at the end here. So, the plan I came up with, this may be a good idea, maybe a dumb idea, but it's my idea. I'm going to, where I have the shims here, I'm going to put in some lag bolts that I can, adjust to get, I took rough measurements, and so I'll have 3 points that are propped up with lag bolts that then I'll check level and everything again. If everything's right, then I will basically start stuffing concrete. I'm going to mix up some concrete, try to get like a peanut butter consistency, and start shoving in all the gaps. That was the best I could come up with. The floor is wavy, so it's not like I can make a nice, even wedge. There's an old cabinet maker's trick where you take a scribe from the largest gap, follow it all the way down, and then, that would be a lot of work to do that all the way around. So, this is what I came up with. I made an executive decision. I think I'm going to just go ahead and bolt that one to this one, and delete that other cubby hole here to give me room over here for my mechanics toolbox. I just think it should live here. So, that'll be part of it. But since I already got this all figured out level, I'm going to do this first, and bolt that, and I think the weight of that'll be okay. Maybe I'll put some lag bolts in that too, and just adjust them after it's all put down on the ground. So that's the plan. We'll see how it goes. Well, there you go. She's all leveled up. Oh, got it grouted in. Had to put a sort of a form on the outside at this end where the gap was the greatest. And I ran out before I quite finished up under there. But I think I'll have to make some more tomorrow to face that outside band area there anyway, so that should give me enough to do that. But, yep, I will not worry about its stability, and it is level. So, ready to proceed after it sets up. This is kind of infuriating to me. This is type of paperwork I've been finding all throughout these cabinets. These cabinets came out of a hospital. not too long ago. And they're just chock full of just papers just shoved around with, very personal, private information. And that just shows the kind of care that's taken of your information out there, and why I always am reluctant to fill out forms all the time when it doesn't seem like they really need to be filled out. But anyway, it's kind of a losing battle. It's just modern life. So to show what kind of slide I need 2 of these, and they're kind of custom because they screw on that end and they slide into a metal standard type thing, tab and slot type deal up there. So it's not like the kind of thing I'll be able to just run down and find at Lowe's, but maybe I can take something from one of the big box stores and modify it and make it work like these. I don't know, but I'm missing 2 of them. All right, this is getting exciting. Those are all just set in place right now. I have to figure out where they land in the back there so I can build my shelf that the top is going to tie into. And yeah, then after that I can go ahead and screw them all down in place. I'm very happy that I decided to go ahead and delete that cubby hole over here and make room for my mechanics cabinet, in its traditional place. I'm just really used to it being right there, and that's where it lives. So I'm happy. This is cool. I just made marks with a straight cut piece of plywood all the way down. Alright, getting kind of exciting. I did locate a much more reasonably priced source of MDF. It was 84 lumber. They were almost half price compared to Home Depot. So, hey, there you go. So that's what I wanted to use. And this is going to be one of 2 layers. The idea is that this one would be permanent, I hope. The idea is when the top layer gets beat up, and I can just flip it over once and then dispose of it the second time and replace it. We'll see how that all works out. Now I did extend the lip 2 inches from the face of the cabinets, which I don't know, it may end up looking a little awkward, but it should be functional. The idea is to have a clamping area. So that was the reason for doing that. And what else? Oh yeah, I am getting ready to, I am going to put caulk in between the top sheet and the bottom thing, not adhesive, but just caulk, with the idea that it'll mush down, and as it cures, it will just create a good, even barrier across, because the metal has irregularities. It's stacked in areas and whatnot, so it's not a perfectly flat surface around the tops of the cabinets. So I figured with that 1 layer of caulk, and I won't screw it down really hard at first. I will, try to make everything as flat as possible. Screw it down just for those purposes. Let it cure, and then go ahead and tighten it. And the idea is that by filling all that gaps, it'll just make the whole thing have that more rigid worktop feeling to it. So this will get glued and screwed, not glued, caulked and screwed to the metal cabinets, and then I'll put another layer on top. I'll stagger the seams, and I will screw from the bottom, so there won't be any screw holes on top except in the back, which I will probably put some sort of backsplash to cover, but it doesn't really matter. Yeah, I haven't determined what I'm going to do with the top. Paint it, clear coat it, whatever. It does need to have some kind of moisture protection. And that is one bad thing about MDF is, you start spilling solvents and paint and whatnot. It has that sponge effect, and it'll end up, you'll ruin your flat surface. But I opted for this. I did consider the dimensional lumber, had that all priced out, and who knows? Nothing's permanent here. I could always go back and do that years down the road. I could get three 16-foot 2x12s, which would go all in one length all the way to the end. I would join them, have to trim off the front, and that price was really not, it was almost the same as the MDF. So, you know, went back and forth on that, opted for the MDF for now, but it'll be good no matter what, just to get me down the road. This project needs to get done so I can get back on other stuff. And really looking forward to having a countertop. It'll be great. Alright, that should give you an idea. Want to buy a toolbox? Everything that was in there is somewhere over there right now. I don't have it all that well organized, but I did manage to clean that out, so that's good. And this is coming along, getting ready to sand the top down to do a second poly coat using some old floor poly stuff that I had laying around. And yeah, getting excited about this. Let's see. Yeah, buddy gave me, he had some sheet metal scraps that I'm going to strategically locate to try to protect that top for the time being. I don't know what long-term plan is. By the way, that TV, I don't know if I've mentioned it, but none of that's going to stay here. That's going to the other corner of the room when the stairway is built. And this is going to be a tool wall, and that's going to be a tool wall. So, yeah, this is going to be awesome. I'm really getting excited. This is cool. Need to get on that ceiling job ASAP. But for the time being, once I clear up this mess, I got some actual car work I need to do. So I've spent enough time just working on the garage. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, not what you want to do.